Hi everybody, welcome to J&S Farms, and today I thought I would show you what I do with the beef short ribs that you get whenever you butcher a cow. So this is one of my favorite recipes to use for these, and this is tomato powder and this is onion powder, and these are celery that I have dehydrated, and then of course some fresh garlic. You can use dehydrated garlic. I am out of dehydrated garlic right now, so I am using the fresh. And you will also need beef broth. If you want to, you can use the bouillon and make the broth that way, or you can boil some short ribs and make the broth as well if you want to do it that way. But anyway, I happen to have some beef broth that has been, I used it earlier and I froze it. So I'm going to be using that. Anyway, and then salt and pepper to taste. And I will show you how I do this. Hang in there and I'll be right back with you at the next step. Alright guys, so I'm going to take these short ribs and I am going to cut them in between the bone to make smaller pieces out of them. Watch your fingers, and you always want to have a really sharp knife as well. So, and I just make them into cubes, and each part has a bone in it. So, let's get these cubed up here. And then I will show you the next step that I use before I put them in the slow cooker. And next we're going to brown them in the skillet just to put a nice brown crust on the outside of them. Okay, so now you want to get your pan preheated, and then you're just going to set your beef pieces down in, and you're going to brown them on each side. And that really kind of locks in good flavor, I think. Put one more in there. Okay. Now you just flip them and turn them as you go along. And once you've got them all browned on each side, you're going to put them in your slow cooker. I've already done a batch. You're going to set them all down in your slow cooker, and then you'll pour that beef broth mixture of the different things over the top of this, and you want to make sure all the meat is covered. Okay guys, so we're getting the broth done here, and I did end up having to use about 3 cups of a broth base that I purchased just because I didn't have enough of the broth that I had made. So anyway, I did end up having to use a little bit of the beef flavored bouillon, I guess is what you'd call it. But anyway, so I have roughly chopped the garlic. And I'm going to put that in now. I roughly chopped it. Okay. And I'm just heating this up so that way it's hot whenever I pour it over the ribs. It certainly doesn't have to be, but anyway. Okay, so what I do, I'll take my tomato powder, and I usually use a heaping tablespoon of tomato powder, and this is probably 12 cups of juice, so, or of broth, excuse me. And then normally I'll put probably just a good palm full, ooh, that's too much, a nice palm full of the celery, and I'll put it in there. And then I like a lot of onion flavor, so I do 2 tablespoons of the onion powder that I make from the dehydrated onions that I do. So 2 tablespoons of that. And that's about it. You know, I'll bring this to a boil, and then, excuse me, I will pour it over the ribs. You do add the salt and pepper to taste. So that's kind of at your leisure as to how much salt and pepper you want to put in. Alright guys, I just thought I would show you how nice those look after you get them all browned up. And we're to the point where we're going to be pouring the broth over the top of these short ribs. And you want to turn your crock pot on for 4 hours on high, and then you want to check your meat and make sure that it's completely cooked all the way through. But it should, at that point, just be falling apart. But anyway, so always check your meat to make sure it's fully cooked before you eat it. Alright, I just wanted to show you how scrumptious those look as they are. I'm going to set you down here because I don't want to splatter the camera here. Alright, this was at a boil. It's not anymore, but... Okay. Alright, and that's what it's going to look like. I'll shove those kind of down into the water, but you want them to all be covered. Excuse me, covered. And I will see you guys back here whenever it's all done. Alright everybody, so they're all done now. And they are pretty darn tasty. And I just thought I would show you. They're so tender you can just pull them apart. This is how tender they get. And anyway, it turned out pretty nice, I think. So anyway, you guys have a good day. Take care.